HOMEChem is a comprehensive study in the chemistry of indoor environments that's performed in a home environment, thus the name HOMEChem. HOMEChem actually is an acronym. It stands for House Observations of Microbial and Environmental Chemistry. In HOMEChem, what we're doing is trying to bring we're trying to bring instrumentation from traditionally used in atmospheric science, atmospheric research studies to look at the indoor environment. So there have been chemists for decades looking at the chemistry of the outdoor air, both in urban environments, in forests, in the troposphere, and higher up in the atmosphere and other layers. They put their instruments on airplanes that fly around the world to get a global understanding of how the atmosphere behaves. They like to treat the atmosphere as this big reactor where all of these little chemical reactions are taking place. The sun is driving a lot of those reactions. So it's a very mature field of research. But then when you think about where we spend most of our time, at least in the Western cultures, at least in most of the developed world, we spend about 90% of our time indoors. And if you're thinking about an exposure, from an exposure standpoint, right, where are you going to be inhaling most of the air? You're inhaling most of your air indoors. So one of the objectives of the study is to bring all of this expertise and all of this instrumentation to look at where we spend most of our times. And we chose a home environment for this study. That's the name HOMEChem. So our research instrument is also not only all of this high-end atmospheric chemistry instrumentation, but also a little house. It's a 1,200 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom manufactured home. The house serves as a research instrument, and that's our, where we're trying to investigate these chemical reactions. We're trying to see if this wealth of knowledge that applies to outdoor air atmospheric chemistry applies also indoors. We go home, we cook dinner, we sleep, we use personal care products, we clean our houses eventually at some point, some more than others, some cook more than others, but we all cook and clean at some point, and we all live in our homes. So for that reason, we have 3 categories of experiments that we're investigating at HOMEChem. We have cooking, cleaning, and the use of personal care products. Organic compounds are very prevalent indoors because, as you can imagine, all of these things that we can smell, they come from an organic compound. So cleaning products, personal care products, fragrances, a lot of cooking, a lot of, the food that we eat is an organic material. If you burn that off and then some of it gets into the air, that's probably going to be an organic material unless you've burn it really, really well and then you end up with soot. But then you have burnt food. So organic compounds in general are very prevalent indoor. Their concentration indoors is expected to be much higher than outdoors, just because that's where we store them and we're buying these things, and we have, you can expect to have gallons of materials throughout your house, from your kitchen pantry to wherever you have your laundry room or your cleaning products. So that's a broad category. We also have particles of a variety of compositions. They can be made of salts if they're coming from outdoors. They can be made of organic matter. They can be made of metals, depending on the activities you have indoors. They can be biological, depending on the kinds of activities you're performing as well. They could be coming from our bodies. We are also a source of air pollution.